Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Great English Podcast. It's Catherine here, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Mark.
Hey, everyone! We're so glad to have you back with us today. We've got a really helpful episode lined up, so stick around, especially for the vocabulary section at the end. We always include some useful words for you to learn and practice.
Exactly. Today, we'll be talking about something we all face at some point, negative thoughts and how to deal with them. Whether it's doubts about yourself, stress from work, or people around you who bring a lot of negativity, we're going to cover how to manage these feelings and keep a positive mindset.
It's such an important topic, Catherine. I think everyone, no matter where they are in life, has moments where negative thoughts creep in. Maybe you're learning English and think, I'm never going to get better, or you're dealing with someone who always puts you down.
Yeah, that's so true. Negative thoughts can come from anywhere, our own minds, the environment we're in, or even the people we interact with. But the good news is, we can take steps to overcome them. So, let's get into it.
Right, let's start by talking about negative thoughts. We all have them from time to time, but if we let them grow, they can really start to affect how we feel about ourselves and the world around us. It's like carrying a heavy backpack. You might not notice it at first, but over time, it gets harder and harder to move forward.
That's a great way to put it. One of the most common types of negative thoughts is self-doubt. This is when we tell ourselves things like, I'm not good enough, I'll never be able to do this, or I'm going to fail. These thoughts can pop up, especially when you're trying something new, like learning a language.
Yes. I bet a lot of our listeners have had moments where they thought, I'm never going to learn English, or everyone else speaks better than I do. But the thing is, these thoughts aren't based on facts. They're just feelings, and you don't have to believe everything you feel.
Exactly, Mark. And it's important to recognize that negative thoughts are just temporary. They're like clouds passing through the sky. They come and they go. What's important is not to get stuck in them. When you notice a negative thought, acknowledge it, but don't hold on to it.
That's a great point, Catherine. One technique that can help is reframing your thoughts. Instead of thinking, I'm not good at English, you could say, I'm learning English, and I'm improving every day. It's all about changing the way you talk to yourself. You wouldn't say something harsh to your best friend, so why say it to yourself?
I love that. And speaking of talking to yourself, have you ever heard of positive self-talk? It's a really useful tool. Instead of focusing on the negative, you start telling yourself positive things, like I'm doing my best, or I've improved a lot since I started. It can help shift your mindset from doubt to confidence.
Yeah, positive self-talk is a game changer. Even just saying, I can do this, or I'm capable, can give you a boost when you're feeling down. It might feel strange at first, but trust me, it works. The way we talk to ourselves affects how we feel and what we believe about ourselves.
Definitely. Now, let's move on to the second part of today's topic, negative people. We've all had experiences with people who bring a lot of negativity into our lives, whether it's a friend, family member, or even a coworker.
Oh, absolutely. Some people just seem to have a negative outlook on everything. They complain a lot, criticize others, or bring you down with their pessimism. It can be really tough to stay positive when you're around that kind of energy.
And when you're learning something new, like English, those people can make it even harder, because they might say things like, why are you bothering with that? Or you'll never be fluent. It's frustrating, right?
Totally. The key here is to protect your mental space. You don't always have control over who's around you, but you can control how much power you give to their negativity. If someone is constantly bringing you down, it's okay to set boundaries. That might mean spending less time with them or not letting their comments affect you as much.
Exactly. And if you can't avoid them, you can always practice emotional distance. This means not taking their negativity personally. Sometimes people project their own insecurities or frustrations onto others. So, remind yourself that their negativity says more about them than it does about you.
That's really important, Catherine. If you let negative people affect you too much, it can start to drag you down. But by creating some emotional distance, you can keep your own positivity intact.
Definitely. Another strategy is to surround yourself with positive influences. This could be people who support and encourage you, or even things like uplifting books, podcasts, or videos that make you feel good. The more positive energy you bring into your life, the less space there is for negativity.
Yes, fill your life with positivity. And that leads us to the final section of today's podcast, how to practice positivity every day. It's not just about avoiding negativity, it's also about building habits that promote a positive mindset.
One great habit is gratitude. Taking a moment every day to think about what you're grateful for can shift your focus away from what's going wrong to what's going right. It can be something small, like having a good meal, or something bigger, like learning a new word in English.
Absolutely. Gratitude helps remind us of the good things in our lives, even when things feel tough. Another good habit is to celebrate small wins. Don't wait for big achievements to feel proud of yourself. If you learn a new phrase in English, that's a win. Celebrate it.
Yes. Every step forward is progress. Another important tip is to practice mindfulness. This means staying present and focusing on what's happening right now, instead of worrying about the future or dwelling on the past.
Mindfulness can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths when you're feeling overwhelmed or focusing on the sounds around you for a moment. It helps you stay calm and centered, which can reduce stress and negative thoughts.
Exactly. And finally, remember to take care of yourself. This includes getting enough sleep, eating well, exercising, and making time for things that make you happy. When you feel good physically, it's easier to stay positive mentally.
Self-care is key. When you take care of yourself, you're in a better place to handle challenges and stay positive, even when negative thoughts or people try to bring you down.
And there you have it. We've covered a lot today about how to deal with negative thoughts and people, and how to maintain a positive mindset. Remember, it's okay to have bad days, and it's okay to feel negative sometimes. What matters is that you don't let those moments define you. You have the power to choose positivity, and that can make all the difference.
Well said, Catherine. And now, as promised, it's time for our vocabulary section. Let's quickly go over some new words and phrases we use today. These are words you can add to your English learning toolbox.
The first word is reframing. This means changing the way you think about something. For example, instead of saying, "I can't do this," you reframe it to, "I'm learning how to do this."
Next is positive self-talk. This is when you talk to yourself in a positive way, like saying, "I'm capable," or "I can improve."
We also talked about emotional distancing, which means protecting your emotions from the negative energy of others by not taking things personally.
And don't forget mindfulness. This is the practice of being fully present in the moment, focusing on what's happening right now instead of worrying about the past or future.
Great job, everyone. Keep practicing these words and try using them in your daily conversations.
That's all for today's episode. We hope you found it helpful and encouraging. Remember, managing negative thoughts and staying positive takes practice, but you can do it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. We'll be back soon with more tips to help you improve your English and keep growing.
Thanks again, and see you next time on the Great English Podcast.